Hello and welcome to Elite Guitarist. My name is Taviginario and I look forward to teaching you how to play Cavatina, written by Stanley Myers. This beautiful and serene piece of music is not for the faint of heart though. You'll find that it will be a tour de force, an exercise in endurance. This is not a sprint but one of those marathon pieces. Although it lasts a little under 4 minutes or so, it will really squeeze every ounce of energy from you as you wrestle with those bar chords and try to sustain all the notes so that you convey the sense that the piece is very serene and peaceful, and you'll convey that sense of tranquility. A word of advice as you begin studying this piece: when you feel tension and pressure on your thumb muscle, push a little bit through that tension, but don't push to the point where you feel significant pain. When that happens, just release the chord and relax the hand for a few seconds and then go back and try to play the chord. Over time, you will build that muscle. Literally, you'll see a physical increase in that muscle as you play more bar chords over time. But also your body will learn how to relax as you become more familiar with the notes themselves. This is a beautiful piece. I have enjoyed playing it for many years, and I loved it ever since I saw that movie, The Deer Hunter. The piece was featured as the soundtrack for the movie that received many awards. So I wish you great success in learning Cavatina. Okay, let's begin with this first section of the tutorial for Cavatina by Stanley Myers. As you tune for this piece, I encourage you to tune not only in the first position here, but also tune to an E major chord in the 4th position and the 7th position. It is an incredibly difficult piece to actually tune. You have to compromise on each of the notes in order to really embrace that character of temper tuning. For example, an E minor chord would sound very out of tune, and that G string is tuned a little bit below the pitch, but it sounds perfectly in tune with a G sharp. So let's begin. We're going to begin with an E major arpeggio chord in the 4th position. The first finger will be a bar chord, pressing 4 out of the 6 strings. And the 4th finger will press a B note on the 1st string, 7th fret. I'm going to play that B note together with an open 6th string E. So together. And then G sharp, played with the 3rd finger on the 4th string, 6th fret, followed by B, played with the 1st finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret, by bar chord there, and then an E note, played with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, 5th fret. So let's try it again. The first 2 notes simultaneously played. For the right hand, I'm using P and A, P for the G sharp, I for the B, and M for the E. If you are not used to playing bar chords, please know that this piece is going to be a tour de force. I mean, it is a very taxing piece. It sounds very soft and peaceful, but the effort necessary to make it sound peaceful and effortless actually will take a toll on you sooner or later. And if you feel pressure, right here at this muscle, right below, underneath the neck, as you press and put pressure from behind the neck, know that it is somewhat normal to feel some pain. When the pain gets pretty intense, just release the chord, relax for a little bit, give it a little bit of a break, and then go back at it. Also, try to think not only in terms of pushing the neck with your thumb from behind the neck, so putting pressure from behind the neck, but also allowing the weight of the of the hand to pull down the strings and allow gravity to work in your favor here. So let's try this first chord again. The next chord is played with a bar chord again in the 6th position. So the first finger will press 5 out of the 6 strings. We're going to play a D sharp played with the first finger on the 5th string, 6th fret, and a B note played with the second finger on the 1st string, 7th fret. And there my guitar seems to be out of tune. And so it's okay, it's relatively in tune, so I'm going to stay with that tuning. So D and B together, played simultaneously, followed by G sharp, already played with the first finger on the 4th string, D sharp, played with the 3rd finger on the 3rd string, 8th fret, and then G sharp, played with the 4th finger on the 2nd string, 9th fret. Let's try it again. Okay, the first two chords, first two bars go like this. Then I'm going to move all the way to the 9th position, and the first finger will now play a full bar chord, pressing all 6 strings. And I'm going to play a C sharp with the first finger on the 6th string, 9th fret, and an A played with the second finger on the 2nd string, 10th fret. After playing the C and A together, hammer on to B. I'm going to play 2 octave notes, C sharp. The first C sharp is played with the 3rd finger on the 4th string, 11th fret, and the octave is played with the first finger, the bar chord, pressing on the 1st string on the 9th fret. Then E, already pressed by the first finger on the 3rd string, A again, back to E, C sharp again. So that bar, the 3rd bar, would sound like this. For the right hand, so P and M, and then P and A together. The next bar, bar number 4, features the same chord, only the bass note now changes. So rather than having an A over C sharp chord, we're going to play an F sharp minor 7 chord. So what I'm going to do with my first finger, I'm going to press just 5 out of the 6 strings. You can say, well, can you just leave it there? And yes, you could, but you don't want to get that residual C sharp note. And so I find it even a little bit more relaxing. It gives me a little bit of a break to actually shift from 6-string bar chord to a 5-string bar chord. So let's see, bar number 4. We're going to play an F sharp with the first finger on the 5th string, 9th fret, followed by C sharp, already in position from the previous bar, E, already played with the first finger on the 3rd string, 9th fret, and A, played with the second finger on the 2nd string, 10th fret. So F sharp, C sharp, E, A, E, C sharp. So let's review the previous 2 bars, bars 3 and 4. And I can already feel pressure by playing it so slowly and having to maintain so much pressure for such an elongated period of time. If you feel the same, do not worry about it. Just take a brief break, pause the video, walk around for a little bit, get a cup of tea, and then come back and practice these. I found that with this piece, with Cavatina, you really have to be patient with every bar and think of just adding a little bit at a time. And as you add, as your body gets used to these chords, you'll find out that you begin to relax more and more. And the stronger you get, the more you work these left hand muscles, the more comfortable you'll feel too over time. But I remember how painful it was in the first couple of weeks as I was learning how to play this piece. I thought I could never play this. And yet it turned out to be quite okay after a while. So let's move on. Let's go to bar number 5. And here I'm going to move back to a full bar chord on the 7th position. And I'm going to play a B and A simultaneously. The B is pressed with the first finger on the 6th string, 7th fret, and A is played with the 4th finger on the 2nd string, 10th fret. So B and A together, followed by open B note. Actually, it's not an open B note, it's pressed. It feels open because I'm not using any of these fingers, but it's actually pressed by the bar chord. This B note is pressed by the first finger on the 1st string, 7th fret. And then I'm going to play together an A and C sharp. The A is pressed by the first finger on the 4th string, 7th fret, and the C sharp is pressed by the 3rd finger on the 1st string, 9th fret. Then E, played with the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 9th fret. A again, E, and A. So let's take the entire bar number 5. Let's move on to bar number 6. From this chord, I'm going to maintain the first finger on the same 7th position, and I'm going to form a B7 chord. I'm going to play B, pressed with the first finger, 6th string, 7th fret, F sharp, pressed with the 3rd finger on the 5th string, 9th fret, A, already pressed by the bar chord on the 4th string, 7th fret, D sharp, pressed with the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 8th fret, then F sharp, back to D sharp. The F sharp is played with the first finger on the 2nd string, 7th fret. So I'm playing just B, F sharp, A, and D sharp. So then F sharp and B together. F sharp, the first one, is played with the 3rd finger on the 5th string, 7th fret, and B is already pressed by the bar chord on the 1st string, 7th fret. Then A, played with the 4th finger on the 2nd string, 10th fret. So the entire bar will sound like this. Let's try that again, bar 6. And then I'm going to play an E major 7 chord. And this is the first point in the piece where you get a little bit of a break from those grueling bar chords. And I'm playing an open E, 6th string, and a B note, played with the first finger on the 1st string, 7th fret, followed by B, played with the 3rd finger on the 4th string, 9th fret, D sharp, played with the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 8th fret, F sharp, G sharp, played with the 4th finger on the 2nd string, 9th fret. So So after the E major 7, I'm going to play an E7 chord, and I'm playing the open 6th string E, followed by G sharp, played with a 4th finger on the 4th string 6th fret, B, played with the 2nd finger on the 3rd string 4th fret, and D, played with the 1st finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret. So once again, here is bar number 8. Then A to G sharp, and this is a pull off. A, played with the 4th finger on the 1st string 5th fret, pull off to G sharp, played with the 3rd finger on the 1st string 4th fret. And now bar number 9, it's an A major 7. I'm playing an A in the bass and G sharp on the 1st string, played with the 3rd finger. And the 1st finger will be a partial bar chord, pressing 4 out of the 6 strings. So A and G sharp together, followed by E, A, and C sharp, all notes pressed with the 1st finger on the 2nd fret. So and to transition to the next bar, bar 10, I'm going to keep this finger planted as an anchor finger on the 2nd fret and simply move fingers number 4 and 3 to form a D major 7 chord. So the first two notes are D and F sharp. The first D is played with the 4th finger, 5th string, 5th fret, and F sharp already pressed by the partial bar chord on the 1st string, 2nd fret. F sharp pressed with the 3rd finger on the 4th string, 4th fret, followed by A, already pressed on the 3rd string here, and C sharp. Back to A. So let's take bar 10. And then open string. Rhythmically, it would be something like this. And so let's move on to bar 11. It is a G major 7 chord, and it's one of the easier chords in the piece, and here it is. We're going to play a G note in the bass simultaneously with an F sharp. The G on the bass is played with the 2nd finger pressing the 6th string on the 3rd fret, and the F sharp is played with the 1st finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, together. D, open D string, open G, open B, back to G and D, then C major 7 chord on bar 12, C and E together. C is played with the 3rd finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, E is the open 1st string, then E played with the 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, G, open string, open 3rd string, B, B, G, back to E, and then I'm going to form a B suspended, B7 suspended. And you may just want to get used to grabbing these chords straight from a C major 7 to. So in order to form this chord, you could press the B with the 1st finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, F sharp, played with the 4th finger on the 4th string, 4th fret, A, played with the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, open B and open E. So let's play this B7 suspended. I'm going to play B and E together. So B on the 5th string and open 1st string. F sharp, A, B, back to A, and F sharp. And from this chord I'm going to form a partial bar chord, pressing 5 out of the 6 strings. And I'm going to play a B note followed by an F sharp. The B note is played with the 1st finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. F sharp played with the 2nd finger on the 4th string, 4th fret. Then together A and F sharp. These are already pressed on the 3rd and 1st string by the partial bar chord. Then B played with the 3rd finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. A and D sharp simultaneously. A is already pressed by the 1st finger on the 3rd string, and I'm playing a D sharp with the 4th finger on the 2nd string, 4th fret. And then a F sharp. So let's try this chord. This is on bar number 14. Then an E major suspended. And I'm playing here open E, 6th string, simultaneously with A and E. The A is played with the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and the high E note is an open 1st string, followed by an F sharp, played with the 4th finger on the 4th string, 4th fret, and then G sharp, played with the 1st finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret. And then E, played with the 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. G sharp. And then on bar 16 I'm going to play high E, open B string, open 1st string again, then a G sharp. The G sharp is played with the 1st finger on the 2nd string, 9th fret, followed by a high B note. This high B note is played with the 4th finger on the 2nd string, 12th fret, and then a D sharp, played with the 3rd finger on the 1st string, 11th fret. And we're going to stop there for the first tutorial, but let's take together bars 15 and 16 and rehearse that. So and we're going to return for the next section of Cavatina.